Welcome to Cafe Latino TV. This program is running here in Comcast, Channel 28. We're so happy to have you today listen today about this enormous and beautiful foundation, Phyllis Programs for Children and Families. Today we have Debbie. How are you doing, Debbie?
Wonderful. Thanks for having me today.
Debbie Alexander, can you tell me your title? You are the business?
I'm the Director of Development for Phillips Programs.
Okay. So tell me a little about brief comments about the program.
Happily. Phillips Programs is what's called a non-public. We serve children from D.C., Virginia, and Maryland from 18 jurisdictions. Mm-hmm. Students are referred to us through the IEP process, and basically we're a special education day school. We have a campus in Annandale, that's our headquarters, a campus in Fairfax, a campus in Leesburg, and another in Laurel, Maryland. Phillips Programs is a very comprehensive program because the students who are sent to us have very complicated needs. Mm-hmm. The way we like to explain it is, you know, most people go to a general practitioner for their health care, but then if you get something serious like cancer, you're referred to a specialist.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we are. We're education specialists for kids who have such complicated issues that they cannot be served by the public schools. So they're referred to us through a very complicated process. It's a really amazing program. We're going into our 50th year of serving students in the area.
That's amazing. So recently happened something amazing for Phyllis Program. Can you tell us about it? Oh,
absolutely. There's an organization called the Heavy Construction Contractors Association, or HCCA, and they have this fabulous initiative called Pave It Forward. Well, we were very fortunate that our school was selected for their charitable giving. And this year, they came to our school and they donated a $150,000 improvement to our parking lot. As I said, we're entering our 50th year. Our parking lot was crumbling and really in need of repair. Now, why is it so exciting that they donated this? Well, our program, we have a $19 million budget. It's very expensive to serve the students that we have at our school. So when we can save $150,000 in improvements, that money can be used for our programs. And we have a lot of services that we give to our children. For example, food for thought. 68% of our children are below the federal poverty rate. And we need to raise about $100,000 a year to feed them breakfast and lunch. So when we can save that money, as you can see, it can be used for other programs.
So we have a little video, a surprise for you. We would like to watch it.
That'd be
Let's
wonderful.
See how it looks like.
Thanks.
HCCA has been around since 1957, and what we are is a nonprofit organization that is comprised of infrastructure contractors and related firms that are dedicated just to make a lasting impact in obviously the construction industry, the economy, and the quality of life for Northern Virginia and the surrounding areas. We did a wonderful community service project last year in Prince William County. It was called the Barnes Transitional Housing, where we went in and did a parking lot. We had this here in Fairfax County, where we really wanted to be intentional and find a great spot in Fairfax County, and the Phillips School kind of showed up, and it was a beautiful partnership.
We've served some of the most vulnerable kids, some of the kids that have the most complex profiles in the D.C. region, and we are starting our 50th school year. Our parking lot was really starting to crumble, so it was in need of repair.
The first day consisted of the primary milling and cleanup, removing the existing asphalt surface. So a major contractor, asphalt paving company, just had received a new milling machine, fresh off the boat, dropped it on the site, and started milling about 7:30 in the morning. And by noon, they had the whole project milled, and we were cleaning up behind them. When we came in and retrofitted all the ADA ramps and major curb and gutter repairs, sidewalk repairs. When that process was completed Tuesday, it was allowed to cure, concrete cure, site clean up once more, and then the final paving came in on Thursday. Total paving operations were cleaned up and equipment was moved off site. The site was clean by 3:30. Friday we came in, cleaned the curbs, fire lanes repainted, new signs put up, and pretty much finished it up to what we have today.
It's very significant because first of all, it's a great demonstration of partnerships in Fairfax County, coming together with a nonprofit by taking care of the infrastructure needs, improving old infrastructure. It helps Phillips be able to put those dollars into the programs and the services that they provide.
So this partnership with HCCA has really enhanced the building and the entrance, the look that we want to convey has helped our kids. They've been excited about it, the staff have been excited about it, the board's excited about it, and we will have this great looking parking lot for many, many, many years, and so we're tremendously grateful.
We came to serve a specific need here at the Phillips School, to help them with a project. But every individual that came on this project was in awe of the energy and maybe the peace that comes from what's happening here. And just being on the project and talking to the staff, that they all walked away impressed, and they all walked away sort of inspired by what the Phillips School does. So to us, it was a chance to not only do something that helped the community, but also to teach everyone that touched it about a new part of the community and what good work was being done.
So now our next steps, we're actually going to look into Loudoun County, because we do cover all of Northern Virginia with our association. So we want to go to Loudoun County and look for a similar opportunity. We don't know what that is yet, but we know that is where we're going, and we can't wait to see what it's going to be and be able to share with the community what we do and how our cause and what we do every day for a living is blended in with what they do every single day.
So beautiful video, and it was amazing how they did all this effort to. How long took to do that?
Oh, well, it was just incredible. It took about a year of planning, but then the execution happened over the course of just a few days. But what's really amazing about the HCCA is they brought together 28 companies, many of whom are competitors who work together to do this project. So it's a real team building effort for the membership of HCCA, and a great way for them to give back to the community. So we're very grateful.
So I visited your school, and I thought that was a beautiful school. It was a series of programs that you have it. And one of the programs I love it was the fact that they teach kids to do modeling, in three-dimensional modeling. Can you tell me about it?
Oh, I'd love to. We have a new initiative called Career Partners, and for most of our existence, we've been training students to get ready for the world of work, because the majority of our kids will not go on to college. And so we have partnerships with about 30 different businesses, and the kids get a job coach at age 14, and they have all kinds of work experiences. Well, last year, we met a group and have a partnership on 3D printing. And Youth Quest Foundation provides the printers to us. The kids are not only learning how to use 3D printers, but they're learning critical thinking skills.
Wow.
And another important aspect of that program is they're learning that making mistakes is okay. That's a huge part of it.
So that part I just thought that was amazing. One of the things I observed during the visit of the school was the bikes.
Yes.
It was something very interesting, like how the kids can focus more after do exercise. Can you tell me about it?
Absolutely. Our goal is to have Aerodyne bicycles in every single classroom. And this summer, we were contacted by AIMS India Foundation. AIMS is a group of folks who came here from India, and they're raising money through running, coaching people to run for races, and then they send the money back to remote villages in India. Well, they decided this year that they wanted to also give back to a local charity, and our school matched with their mission. So they gave us $5,000 to put bikes in more classrooms. And if a child is having trouble focusing, if you put them on a bike and they start exercising, it helps them focus more. But there's one other thing I want to tell you about that partnership. So after they donated the money and we bought the bikes, they came for a tour, And now we're giving back to Ames. Our teachers and our leadership have agreed to learn about the kids in one particular school in a very remote village and advise their teachers on our techniques. So it's really cool when you have two nonprofits helping each other.
That's amazing work. So we almost finished our conversation, but you have a serious event during the year, and just mention me the events that you do your event to raise money.
Absolutely. Thank you. We have two big events every year. Every spring we have a fabulous gala. That, we've been doing it for over 20 years, and it's a fun gala. There's always a theme. People dress up to it. And then every fall we have an incredible Harvest Ball. We hold it at Salamander Resort in Middleburg, and we partner with the Loudon Arts Council.
Okay.
And the Loudon artists display their paintings and their sculpture. 30% of the sales comes back to Phillips. And again, it's two nonprofits working together. We're helping artists and helping children.
So that is amazing how Phillips Programs for Children has been helping other nonprofits to succeed. This is something unique, I think, that makes a difference in the society.
Well, you know, public-private partnerships are really the way to go. It's a cost-effective way to help the underserved and also do it at a more economical manner. So we're very excited to partner with as many people as possible.
Absolutely. So one of the things I learned that sometimes would be good to if the people could donate socks, things, you know, new things for people, because you also take care of homeless kids. So can you just mention?
Oh,
to
absolutely.
This track?
Our kids, many of our kids are in and out of homelessness, in and out of foster care. We have a need for large deodorants, underwear and socks, and then at the holidays we collect grocery gift cards. As I said, we feed many of our students breakfast and lunch. So during the holidays they go home to places where there's food insecurity. So those are the kinds of things that we like to collect.
Debbie, it was a pleasure to have you here in Cafe Latino Cafe Latino TV in Comcast. I hope so we'll continue talking and helping you. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Well, we come back to the final hour small show, the beautiful show Cafe Latino with friends and Cafe Latino TV. It's something that I like to share with the community, how amazing things are around the neighborhood and we don't know. Please visit the information is in show during the show was showing phyllisprograms.org in case you wanted to donate stuff, and we're looking forward to see you next time. I'm Laura Drain and this is Cafe Latino. Welcome again to Cafe Latino. In this part of the show, I want to introduce you today to an amazing person that I met recently. His name is Dr. Oliver T. Reed. And to part of this conversation, I also invite Summer Gregory. How you doing?
Doing well, thank
She's
you.
going to be our co-host in Cafe Latino. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
So today we are going to interview somebody that is amazing. What you can tell me about it?
Well, Dr. Reed has written multiple books, starting out from his life early on and documenting his progression through all his struggles and triumphs, and it's created some amazing books.
Dr. Reed, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Wonderful to have you here today.
I'm honored to be here.
Tell me a little about you. Who is Oliver, Dr. Oliver?
Well, that's a great question. I'm a proud father, husband, motivational speaker, entrepreneur, and a life coach, just to name a few. But really somebody who wants to give back and to serve the community, and life is the best way I can, in the best way I can.
So when do you decide, in what moment of your life, or what was happening in your life when you decide that, you know, I wanted to write a book?
Yeah, it's one of those things I go by for my life coaching. My name is Your Solution Coach. And I found out that through the problems that I've faced in life, I could choose to either to be on the left side of the equal sign, which is where the problems exist, or on the other side of the equal sign, which is being a solution. So I found out, you know, just by writing, not only just writing books or sharing my feelings therapeutically, that I just opened my life up to be a book so that others can read it. So my journey through life is to help somebody else. What I was locked out of, what pain I experienced in the former years of my life is not just for me. I want to share that with others to impact them and maybe cut their time in half and provide solutions.
Fantastic. Now tell us about the first book that you'd written.
Well, the first book is called Words from the Low Place. It's a book talks about being at a low point, your lowest for God's highest. It's one of those things where I took the journey in my life when I started out. Grew up in a single-family home. Didn't really know my father much. Was rejected. Suffered a lot of abandonment issues that kind of followed me through the steps of my life. I always tell people that you're not what you touch, but you are imprinted by what you hold on to. So I found myself progressing through life and holding on to certain things, and it was coming up later on in my life. So rejection of my father and just growing up in a low-income home and going through my adult years in college in 1995. I had a attempt to commit suicide, and there was a lot of different things that went on. And God was
sharing your experience.
Yeah, sharing my experience, progressing through my whole life.
That's amazing. When did what did you went to college? This is amazing. Where did you go?
I went to Winston-Salem State University.
What did you study there?
I studied history and sociology.
Sociology.
Yes.
Okay.
I started off with wanting to do physical therapy and realized really quickly that wasn't the path I needed to take.
Yeah.
But you always had the passion for writing.
Yes. I always had the passion for writing. From a kid, I won my first contest, and I really didn't want to do it, but I wrote an essay in 6th grade.
Wow,
and it was actually published during, wanted to give my age away, but during Ronald Reagan's term. And so that kind of sparked my interest and started speaking about those issues and writing. So just fell in love with it.
So, and you, as part of your work as a coach, what kind of people? Can you tell us a little story to somebody? I know I don't want to know names. But I love the stories of coaches. How you help somebody?
Yes, I really get to talk to them first. I always tell them that, hey, you can only get in what you put out. So a lot of times I'll come in and just break the ice and share a little bit of my story, and usually that'll melt. Because people have a persona, they see your success or where you are in life, and they tend to categorize you, put you over to the left or right. But I tell them I was just like you, confused, and find the commonalities of pain, as I was sharing earlier, pain, rejection, and just getting them through it. So first thing I do is assess them and build around them. And I always tell them, I'm not giving you anything. I'm coming to uncover what's inside of you. I believe that there's greatness inside of no matter what you've been through, what you touch, what you face, what you've actually experienced. There's still a solution in every person in the planet Earth. So I try to focus on the positives, turn up the positives, and turn down the negatives.
How many books have you written?
About 10.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, and been featured in about 15 other books.
So tell me a little more about you. I know you're a speaker. Where usually you speak to?
I speak to everywhere, anywhere I get a chance to. In my workplace, actually at colleges, at churches. Actually spoke overseas in Colombia, South America.
Oh, look at that.
Liberia, West Africa. So anywhere that people will listen. To a high school student, to somebody at a bus stop. I really don't have any biases to where I can speak.
That's amazing. Yeah. So this book that you have, this book, Manhandle, I love the title. Yes. So it's about put men in cans?
In jars.
In jars, bottles. Sorry, in bottles. This is good for women. I'm sorry. What is this book about it?
Yeah, it's really a powerful book. It's also something that I actually explain is that how men from a kid a lot of times will say what they don't feel and feel what they don't say. From the little kid that falls and the mother father say, hey, get up, don't cry, suck it up, be tough. And it follows them through their life. And so now when they're 20 years later when they get married or they're in a relationship, they're taught to not say what they feel. So when you ask them 20 years later, how was your day at work? Oh, it was cool. It was great. And that woman doesn't know her husband or know her maid. She'll say okay, and she'll start unloading things, but really he's not okay. So it's being able to understand that we are sometimes encapsulated by words. Maybe it was an experience that child or that young man experienced as a kid, that certain words would trigger him.
Okay.
If you don't know that, you're dating him and you're saying the same words that bother him
Exactly.
and wondering why he leaves. He takes out the trash and never comes back.
Exactly. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So this book would be great for a women to understand men.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yes. It's a book for men, but also really for women to understand the people that love them, even relationships, from even dealing with children, how they relate to their father, how the father relates to the daughter. It's really a conceptualized thing about decoding. So it's possible to be with someone. You can be with Dan, but you're still attached to Jim,
Yeah.
ladies, and you're trying to unlock Dan with Jim's password.
Right.
Yeah.
So everybody doesn't,
Doesn't
talk
work.
and communicate the same.
So it sounds quite amazing. We are as minorities really hard sometimes to face the issues, no? And especially in the African American community, in the Latino community, a lot of women get raised kids by themselves, you know. So what would be your phrase or the things that you can tell young men and young women? You know, I believe in family.
Yes.
I know. I think how we can help them to create this family, grow kids with a family. Because I think that one of the problems we face in a lot of these gangs and things is kids that are not part of family, you know?
Yes.
So what would you tell them?
Oh man, that's a great question. And one of the things I talk about in the chapter of Manhandled is the man-child phase. And this is when a young man has to grow up early because there was no male presence. Maybe it's a single parent in the home, single female in the home. And what ends up happening is that a lot of pressure is put on him to perform in a man state. And so he had to take on a lot of responsibility. So by the time he gets to be an adult, there's a lot of challenges. He wants to go back a lot of times to having fun and doing all those things that was robbed from him. What I tell women when you're raising, especially men, minorities, when you're raising sons, is to, even if there's not a male present, find someone in the community to trust with, a counselor, a mentor, a pastor, somebody that you can, put him around so that he has that, break up that monotony, so he has exposure to what men do. What is my uncle model?
Yeah, male model.
Yes.
Yeah, this is something else you would like to learn about this amazing.
I want to get my hands on those books.
Yeah.
I'm
So
excited to read them.
I'd love to get
do you have a books specific to help women? You know, I found a lot of women living with this man. Either way, there's a lot of violence, domestic violence,
Yes.
and I see a lot constantly. Especially, I don't want to go back to the minorities, but it's something that it's the only thing I know because of minorities. It's kind of
It's rampant through all
to
cultures.
everybody, no? Domestic violence in
Absolutely.
everybody's, no? So, but sometimes to break this relationship is really hard.
Yes.
Know how you separate when somebody, you know that.
Well, and then there's the point where you need to wonder whether is it worth saving,
Yes.
yeah.
or is it so damaged
Yes.
that you're better off, parting.
Yes.
I don't encourage that, but sometimes that happens.
So, have you ever written something to help women
Yes.
in the domestic violence?
Actually, this book talks about it. There's a chapter called Manslayers, and I kind of played on the word man. So you got manhood, you got man traps, you have man manipulation, you have manslayers. So in this book, Manhandled, I talk about how you have to really understand what's being communicated beforehand. A lot of times that woman will be in a relationship or in a situation that there are certain words or certain ways of body language, the nonverbals, before it gets aggressive. That if you can notice those nonverbals, if you can see and know that this man is getting angry, or you can kind of protect and really taking the ownership off of the female and putting it back on the male to handle his issues.
So this is we could spend all day talking about.
Yes,
all
we
this.
could.
It's amazing, no?
Absolutely.
So it's something we like to do close. That our time is coming up. Would you like to say something to close in our
Do
Café
you have any
Latino?
upcoming speaking engagements?
Yeah, I do. We're actually going to be doing something relational, all about relationships. Anything that as people follow me on Facebook and different places, social media, we're always doing something to empower the community. So we have something coming up on December 3rd, 2016 in Norfolk. It's a relationship conference. So basically the stuff we're talking about, marriage, singles, we're getting together to talk really behind the scenes of why people cheat, why they go through infidelity, anger, rage, and
I
just
love it.
miscommunication.
I think we were looking forward to visit your webpage.
Yes.
And very, very nice to meet you, Dr. Oliver Reed.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate
Pleasure.
you.
Thank you.
Very much. Well, Summer, we're almost coming to the final of the show. And as you see, you tasted a little Cafe Latino. What do you think? It's awesome, no?
I love it.
So we're looking forward to see you next month.
Absolutely.
We will invite amazing people again.
More amazing people.
More amazing people. Always Cafe Latino is for that. Well, we are coming to the closing of our show. I always say this part because it's the moment that we have to say goodbye to everybody. But today we learned a lot with Debbie about the foundation helping these kids, homeless kids that had trouble. And now we talk with Oliver. Oliver, besides the writing books, he also is part of a nonprofit. It's called
New Hope Housing.
New Hope House, helping homeless kids. And I think Cafe Latino is always open to invite people people to tell us about what is happening around us and how we can help more the community. Thank you very much to be here in Cafe Latino.